Countering homegrown violent extremism. I think that Errol has created the right frame. I submit that the service that our counterterrorism operatives do is noble and absolutely admirable. What I'm suggesting is that the politics and the policies and some of the strategies that we have been using are not. In LA, we have had a homegrown violent extremism epidemic in our street gangs. I've been working with gang intervention, actual gangsters, with officers, law enforcement for a long time, and with community groups, every single sector in an ecosystem. When I realized that I had won all of my lawsuits and we had not impacted the violence, I realized we needed to change our game. What we did is we got 40 groups together. All of these groups are constantly fighting each other for funding, but we said, you've got to be mission-oriented, we've got to get in the same boat and row, and we have to come up with an evidence-based, fact-based diagnosis that assesses the complexity of the problem, as well as the danger that we face. So what we did is instead of having law enforcement or civil rights, we said, no, we're going to let the World Health Organization epidemiologists drive this train. The most important thing that we did is we changed from a frame of war on gangs to attacking the trauma and the violence. What our report showed was that when you attack street gangs, not organized crime, but street gangs, you increase their coherence and you actually make them stronger. We came up with a wraparound strategy, and we required the city to change not only its mission, but we had to create new institutions, and we could not let the politicians determine the policy. We had to let the science, the epidemiological strategies, as well as the law enforcement and gang intervention strategies lead the way. It turns out that 14 years later, we have a success story to report. When gang officers roll out to a gang homicide by themselves, the retaliation shootings happen in 24% of the cases. Now that's way down from 60% 25 years ago. When professionally trained gang intervention workers, one of the key recommendations in our call to action report, roll out with or in tandem with gang officers, 0.7% retaliation. Let's stop the politicization of this issue and get to the solutions. Let's focus on the violence and the trauma with comprehensive public health strategies, as we are doing in LA. And we need to stop asking law enforcement to solve every problem because we're too cowardly to actually come up with the solutions. We can't afford to narrow this artificially, just to focus on religiously perverted violent extremism. This is the kind of conference that can shift that frame to long-term, enduring, comprehensive solutions.